What's up, guys? This is Kadir Stonks back with another video. I'm here to go over with you guys the plays from Friday. Over past weekend. I didn't get into it yet, so let me go in depth about the top percent gainers. Okay, Friday. I don't remember too much, but it didn't have too much plays. I'll say that much. It had plays, but like they were a little bit longer in time frame, and you'd kind of have to stick to uh to the screen, as I said before. So yeah. So let me get back into it. Here's my screen. Top percent gainers, GRNV for Friday ended up strong, at least on the day. 1 million float, 1 million volumes. Like this over the kind of weekdays, the trade from last week, most of the volume was very minuscule. Like there was pretty small. They were under like 50 million shares on any given stock. It was like the top percent gainers were not hitting those crazy numbers of volume. It's like volume is starting to dissipate, which is weird because during this pandemic, more trade platforms like Robinhood and etc. have popped off, especially when it's there's been like uncertainty in the economy. People wanted to try out some new things perhaps, or find a back burner for their assets. Market cap was 27 million. There was no news on the stock, but the float was low. Market cap is small, and it's financial sector, which I wouldn't put too much. I wouldn't trade it if I was if I was anybody looking at GRNV on that day. Maybe I should have traded it because it ended up being a great trade. Like right around 11 p.m. broke out. As soon as this breakout happened, it started going up and up. It started moving huge percentages, and after that, it got halted and gapped up higher. Halted, gapped up. Wow, yeah. But with minimal volume like this, most people would ignore it. I'd ignore it because I would never think that has the chance until it shows this breakout, perhaps maybe after this first halt or this first like major breakout right here and the second green stick. I'd probably answer perhaps, but I didn't catch it. Just I'm gonna go over the trade I actually want to trade it, but it ended up being red. And it's because I want to say that we've seen lately, we've been seeing less I guess follow through, I would say. It's starting to become more fake outs than breakouts, and we probably have to shift the way we buy these stocks from maybe not buying at breakout levels, but buying at other, maybe double bottoms or holding so intraday support, etc., etc. FLGC, a little bit higher price. I would have probably never traded this. It's not a super higher price. It's just that the liquidity is pretty not, it's not that volatile, and it wasn't that liquid on the day compared to the previous days. And it's kind of this is a little bit too much of a run in a short period of time. BIOL, BioLays, 147 million shares afloat. That's a lot of resistance areas. This area counts as resistance, $1. So, and then you have this 85 cents area as resistance on the gap up, but it kind of gapped up and held it pretty strong. But it ended up closing lower than that support area, so it didn't become support. Okay, 117 million shares of volume were traded, which that's a lot. 94 cap on the market cap. The news was health check. How prudently does BioLace use debt? So it's a press release. Strong third quarter revenues as well. Let's look at it. Intraday. morning open after the gap up, just kind of just flunked right off the gates. Once it flunked and made these higher lows, higher lows. I mean, I would have been in very enticed to long it, but I don't like stocks right in the morning, just almost because right in the morning you have to really consider that this is when most of the volume is going to be traded. Like the first hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours, this is it. And midday is going to be volume is going to still be there, but not as heavily prominent. End of day, perhaps volume comes and picks it up, and is due mostly because of news rather than you know price action. I'd say most of the times because it has a valid news source or something pretty significant happen, and maybe buyers and investors are looking towards to get into something at the end of the day. That can occur, but ended up getting higher and coming back down and just go back down to where it was. Um, I wonder if you guys are seeing my screen. It says share on my Zoom. It says sharing is paused. Bring your shared window to the front. Zoom. Oh, is it this one? Okay, let me just put on desktop so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Because I think you guys could only see my other part. Okay, BIOL, as I was talking about it, gapped up, flunked, came back up. Perfect short area if you wanted to short on the bounce. 91 cents is a perfect area, or even these tops, risking this high of day. Easy short. Nice rewarding, especially when the float is ridiculous. Like ridiculous. 147 million. Like what? That's a lot. Been a lot of gappers and failures on Friday too. I'm not gonna lie. CVV, not there that volatile. I don't like it, to be honest with you. IRIX, not volatile at all. Not volatile. Evoke, okay, potential trade on Evoke. Drug manufacturer, especially in the healthcare sector. Float is still ridiculous, but once it just it didn't even have a morning gap. It just ran up. I'm gonna say due to quarter financial results. So yeah, it wasn't that bad for it. Okay, Evoke. Let's look at it. Intraday. Okay, wow. Just as soon as my morning open, it kind of just was very choppy and no volume. And then you see this sort of 122 break, sort of. This is like this looks like some OTC movements, but yeah, very choppy. And once it breaks and keeps going higher, comes back. And then right here is a nice area to short at because it's midday, and it's sort of made too much of a slow grind. Seems like it's about to top off, but if it doesn't, you can stop at 158. And yeah, risk reward is pretty good. Next area reward is like this 136 level. Yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan on that. So let me go over the trade. I think I traded, I think it was Boxel. I believe it was a stop. Yep, it was a stop. BOXL. Now before I get too heavy on the intraday aspect, uh, let's look at market cap is 134 million. So market cap is there. Total volume traded on the day was minuscule. Let me put that back. So it fit the criteria of a trade that we should trade. The volume was there, but it wasn't crazy volume. But compared to what it trades on, I mean, it trades a lot of volume on average. Consistently has many areas of resistance. To be honest with you, because you have this 239 area right here. You got all throughout this whole range from 290 to 240, which is ridiculous amount of range of resistance, but it gapped up nonetheless. And on the daily, when it moves, it can move huge. It has range to move. Um, yeah. I was looking at it primarily because morning, a pre-market and morning. Let me show you guys pre-market. As you can see, pre-market kind of gapped up, consolidated, gapped up, consolidated, came back down on the pre-market. And once it came back down, I was like, okay, morning open. It went red. It went red right here. You see this red? Yeah, now let me. This is now. If you guys were in my shoes, you guys would see why I would took the trade. It went red on the day, morning open. Okay, created this base at 235. Once it created this base right here and broke this 15 EMA moving at red, I mean 15 moving day moving average. Once it broke that, I was like, okay, red to green, broke the 15-day moving average. It can run even higher. Long dip right here, 245, broke the VWAP again, held strong, and then right here, I thought it was gonna be a 1 minute pullback, and then back up it goes. It went up to 253, topped out, and then I exited right here. So I was like, yep, this is setting up to look like it's gonna be a short. Let's crack the VWAP and the 13-day moving average. I just didn't like it, and so I just exited. Why I say 13? Why use 13-day moving average? I use a 13-day moving average because it tells you the trend for fast pace, you know, intraday trades like this. It shows you the trend on what's gonna occur. You can catch false breakouts and falls very quickly, like right here. Once you saw this breakdown, this is a fast indication. Even the VWAP is also one of those. This indicator right here, okay, can't hold the VWAP, and then what happened? It's not gonna hold the VWAP, and then came back, retested that same area, the different area on the price action, but the VWAP area, and then boom, got shorted. So yeah, that was my analysis on my trade on Boxel. It was pretty rational. I'm not gonna lie. It's just that, you know, everything doesn't work out 100%, which is understandable. I got out for a $13 loss. So yeah, it's becoming more and more frustrated. Now I'm starting to see that maybe we have to be more meticulous about our trades and really not trade as much often, even if maybe we're gonna have to try to make our um qualifications for every trade more strenuous. You know, taking into consideration everything. It has to have good news. It has to have at least news. It has to have traded a certain amount of volume, and compared to its, you know, daily, it cannot have many areas for, because my particular way of going about these is I'm trading on the long side. I'm going long, I'm buying. I'm on the bull side. So I'm gonna have to want as minuscule amount of bears that can, you know, push these stocks down. So I'm gonna have to look at it from that side. Volatility, that's a tough one because that creeps into greediness, because if everything turns out to be perfect about it, it's just that it might not, you know, be super volatile, then it's becomes, you know, tricky because yeah, what do you wage a little bit of you? Okay, let me be greedy because I want to make a percent, 1 cent per percent change. Or do I want to make 20 cents for every percent? You know, it's one of those things. By taking into consideration volume going to be traded on the day, volume that's probably going to be acting as resistance, and if there's range away from that, and all we're looking for is the range to have a great risk reward for us. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking for, you know, it to be a perfect 100% gimme. So that's what I took away from this week's trading. Hopefully next week will be better. I'm gonna try a little bit of holding back, not being a gunslinger, because even this I don't want to tell my strategy too much because then I don't want to feel like I'm getting jinxed. But it's probably not. Like not trading the first 15 minutes, you know, because look, for the first 15 minutes, it was very volatile, as you can see with volume just erupting and being very impulsive of buyers just buying. Okay, it hasn't something anything. Let me buy it before the day ends up being like a long mid slow day. But some people can be patient. If you can be patient, if you can, you got to be very methodical. You have to understand when the right time to do something or anything. But yeah, it could never be the right time. But yeah, first if I waited first 15 minutes, I would have knew, okay, this is a dud. This doesn't seem like it's working out to be a good long at all. And then what happens? It shows you that it's not, and then comes back and you're like, okay, I don't have to trade this no more, etc., etc. So yeah, guys, this is Kadir Stonks back with another video. Until next time, peace.